Hello guys, welcome back to Mighty for Reals Point. Welcome back to my channel. And today, different background. I'm on the beach guys. I have a different kind of story to share with you today. And today, you might be wondering, why has he got that? Right, this is my tennis racket. Yeah? And today, we're talking about tennis. Today is a tennis show. And the reason I'm talking about tennis today is that I want to congratulate the one and only Novak Djokovic. For me, the greatest of all time. And there's several reasons why I'm saying he's the greatest of all time. Now, he's won his 24th Grand Slam title last night. He won his 24th Grand Slam title last night. What an achievement. He stands out on top. Nothing at all. No one can compare to him. But that's not the only reason why, for me, Djokovic is my hero and is an example of why he is the greatest of all time, and not only in the circles of tennis, but in life as well. Now, if you follow tennis, I know a lot of you don't follow tennis, but I'm a tennis player and I've played tennis at the highest level. Well, that's something for you guys that don't know me, but those who really know me, they will know all these things about me. But this is why we brought this channel, so that I can introduce myself to you guys and you get to know a lot about me. Now, I've played tennis at the highest level, and tennis is not a joke. I've played ITF tournaments and I've been two-time African University champion. Now, I've got titles. I've played tennis from a young age. I still play tennis and I'm a qualified tennis coach. I have a little girl, she's only 6. I'll introduce her to you very soon. She's got her own channel, and her channel is Erin's Tennis Journey. And that's my little girl. She's been learning the game of tennis from the age of 3. Anyway, I don't want to get away from the point where I came out today, but the biggest point, the biggest reason I came out today is congratulate the one and only, the man of the hour, Novak Djokovic. 24 Grand Slams. Now, what makes Djokovic the greatest of all time? Obviously, his achievements will speak for themselves. However, Djokovic is more than a tennis player. If you follow tennis, the last 2 or 3 years have not been good for Novak Djokovic. He almost gave up the game that he loves because he stood for his rights. Ladies and gentlemen, he almost gave up the game he likes because he stood for his rights. Now, you do remember 2 or 3 years ago, with all this hysteria of the pandemic and all that. Now, Novak Djokovic could not compete because he did not agree with certain things that were being forced onto him. So he lost a full entire calendar year. He wasn't allowed to go to the US, so he could not play the US Open. He didn't play the Australian Open. You remember that case? He went to Australia and he was arrested at the airport, put in a cell for 2 days, and later refused entry to Australia. So he could not defend. He was the defending champion then. He could not even defend that. So he was put on a plane and sent back to Serbia. He did not play the entire year because he stood for his rights, and he was willing. What makes Djokovic so special is that he was willing to sacrifice everything, sacrifice the game he loves, everything, so that he can fight for his rights. Now, that's commendable. Only a select few people in this world are able to do that. Now, I don't want to compare people, but I compare him to Mohamed Ali, the greatest boxer of all time. Everybody knows Mohamed Ali. Now, Mohamed Ali in the 1970s, he faced similar problems in America when there was segregation, a racist regime, slavery, all that stuff, where black people were not allowed to sit on the same, they were not allowed to go into the same restaurants, they could not sit on the same buses, they could not walk on the same side of the street. If you are seen talking to a white person, you could get lynched, you could get beaten up and killed. So in the 1970s, the US was involved in the Vietnamese War. They were fighting in Vietnam. So they were recruiting people to go and fight in Vietnam. Now, Muhammad Ali refused to recruit, refused to sign up, and his belief was that why should I fight for a government? Why should I fight for a country that does not actually regard me as a person? Now, he refused to sign up, and because he didn't sign up for that, his boxing license was taken away from him. So for about 5 years, Muhammad Ali could not fight in America. He couldn't do anything. The only thing he loved fighting, he could not defend his titles and everything. So he refused to do that. Now you have to commend people like that. Now, if you're a sportsman like me, I play tennis, and if someone told me, listen, in order to give you that, in order for you to continue playing tennis, you have to do this, and I didn't agree with it, and they said, well, okay, you never play tennis. That hurts. And these guys this is the living as well. Let's not forget. So there's a few examples in life that stand for more than just ordinary people. Most people would just say, a lot of people were told to stand up in line and get counted, and they all did that. If a select few people were able to say that, no, that's not for me, I'll wait, what have you. So Djokovic is one of those examples. That, for me, he captivated me, because for Nadal, Federer, all the other guys he was competing with at the very, very top, they all stood in line and they competed. And actually Nadal went a Grand Slam ahead of him, yeah, because he did not play that whole year. Actually, the Australian Open that year was won by Nadal. And I'm telling you what, if Djokovic played in that tournament, Djokovic would have won that. So he's got 24 Grand Slams. I personally think he could have won at least 3 Grand Slams that year. So he could have we could be sat here with him having 27 Grand Slams. But he lost an entire year because he stood for his rights. He stood for his rights and said, listen, you're not going to push me around. I don't think this is for me. And that's commendable. Very few people are willing to do that. Most people will do anything for money, you know. Oh, line up here, do this. Oh, you need this, you need that. Oh, if you don't do it, we take this away. Very few people stand for their rights. I would say I'm part of those people, because I don't want to get told what to do. Anyway, there's a few other examples. In American football, there was a man called Colin Kaepernick. He started taking the knee every time the US anthem was being sung before games, and he was warned and said, if you continue doing it, we're going to banish you out of the league. But he said, no, I have to do this because of how black people are being treated in America. You know, police brutality, people getting away with murder, you know, and all that. You know what goes on in America? It's a dirty country when it comes to black people and how they're treated there. So he stood, every time they sang the national anthem, he took the knee. And he said, I will not stop doing this until things change. So you have to command yourself for that. There's another example. There was a basketballer called Ivan. He played for the Brooklyn Nets. And again, he refused during all this hysteria of the pandemic. He said, listen, I'm not doing that. It's not right for me at the moment. I want to abstain. And he was refused from playing basketball for a whole year. He could not travel. He could not go to games. So people like that, he was willing to fight for his rights, and that is commendable. We'll do something else about that. But when you get people like that who are willing to sacrifice everything for what they believe in, you have to take your hats off. Now, Djokovic, for me, you're my hero. You're my hero. I like the way you play. I watched the US Open last night, and I could not take my eyes off the guy. How good he is. He's 37 years of age, and no one compares to him on the circuit. Lastly, I want to send out another big congs for a young girl in America who's won her first Grand Slam as well. And I'm talking about the only one, Coco Gauff. 19 years of age, first Grand Slam. I think this is the new Serena. This is the new Venus. She's unbelievable. Congratulations on winning your first Grand Slam. Thanks a lot for everybody who's tuned in today, and give us a like, subscribe if you like the material I'm bringing you, and I'll see you in the next one. So have a good time, relax guys. See you later.